rivers of Babylon, where we sat down, and there we wept when we remember Zion.
It happened long, long ago, when black people were taken from their homes in Africa and forced to come here to work as slaves. They were put into ships, and many died during the long voyage across the Atlantic Ocean. Those that survived stepped off the boats onto a land they had never seen, a land they never knew existed, and they were put into the fields to work. Many refused, and they were killed. Some would run away and try to go back home, back to Africa, where there were no slave masters, where they worked their own land for the good of each other, not for the good of the slave masters. Some of those who tried to go back to Africa would walk until they came to the ocean, and they would walk into the water. No one knows if they walked back to Africa or if they drowned. It didn't matter. At least they were no longer slaves. When the slave traders forced Africans onto the slave ships, they did not know, nor did they care whether they took the village artists, musicians, or priests. As long as they were black and looked strong, the slavers wanted them, men, women, and children. The slave traders did not know that sometimes there would be a witch doctor among those captured. If they had known, and had also known that the witch doctor was the medium of the gods, they would have thought twice. It was to a plantation in South Carolina that one boatload of Africans was brought. Among them was the son of a priest who had recently completed studying the secrets of the gods taught by his father. This young man carried with him the secrets and powers of the generations of Africa. One day, one hot day when the sun burnt the hair on top of the head, they were working in the fields. They had been in the fields since before the sun rose, and as it made its journey to the highest part of the sky, the very air seemed to be on fire. A young woman, her body curved with the child that grew inside her, fainted. Before her body struck the ground, the overseer with the whip was riding toward her on his horse. He threw water in her face. "Get back to work, you lazy nigger. There ain't gonna be no sitting down on the job as long as I'm here." He cracked the whip against her back, and screaming, she staggered to her feet. All work stopped as the Africans watched, saying nothing. "If you niggers don't want a taste of the same, you'd better get back to work." The Africans lowered their heads and went back to work. The young priest worked his way slowly toward the young mother-to-be and whispered something in her ear. She in turn whispered to the person beside her. He told the next person. She told another person, and on around the field it went. The Africans did it so quickly and quietly that the overseer noticed nothing. A few moments later, the young woman fainted once again. The overseer with the whip was almost upon her when the young priest shouted, "Now!" And he uttered a strange word, "Kuji Chagulia!" The young woman rose from the ground, and waving her arms like wings, she flew into the sky. The overseer looked around at the Africans and shouted, "Who did that? Who yelled out? Just let me get my hands on him." The Africans only stared into the distance, tiny smiles softening their lips. "Now," the priest shouted, "now, now, everyone!" He uttered the strange word, "Kuji Chagulia!" All the Africans dropped their hoes, stretched out their arms, and flew away, back to their home, back to Africa. That was long ago, and no one now knows the word the witch doctor knew that could make people fly. But who knows? Maybe one day one of you will awaken with a strange word on your lips, and uttering it, all of Africa's children will fly away home.
Just